Hi folks, Kevin here again. It's been 2 years, but I'm finally back in beautiful Lapland. Today I'm on a trail called the Moloslaki circular route. It's 11 kilometers, and as my first day hiking, I figured I'd just take a fairly easy route. Today's route should take us up and over the tree line, and I'm hoping that the views will be quite good. I am here at the start of the autumn season in Lapland. This season is called Ruska, aika, and it basically means that the broadleaf or deciduous trees are changing their leaf colour. So there are beautiful yellows and oranges and reds. Since the last time I've been out hiking, I've managed to buy a few things to test. My top, for example, is this Alpha Direct material. This one I got from a company called Skalmo, and it's the 60 grams per square centimeter material. It's incredibly warm, weighs almost nothing at all, but it feels rather flimsy. I guess time will tell how long it'll last during the coming winter season. Yeah, it's funny when I'm walking on trails like these, for some odd reason I always feel like I'm actually in the game of Skyrim, because the trails look so similar to the landscape there. Very cool. So once you get above a certain altitude, the forestry proper gives way to stunted pines and birches, which is more typical of an Arctic tundra landscape. And as you go further up, even those will thin out until you get to this pure rock. So currently we are on a place called Laki. I'm not sure what Vasa is, but laki, I think it's a Sami word. It means a rounded bare hill above the tree line, which is a pretty good description of what we're seeing. So beautiful. These darker bushes in front of me, these are all juniper bushes. Somehow they managed to survive the really harsh conditions up here in both winter and in summer. So now we've gone over the top and we're starting to descend into the next valley. In the distance you can see the other fells, and these fall onto flat marshy plains and lakes. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up, but the fells were formed millions of years ago, and then their current shape and form was heavily influenced by glaciers flowing over and wearing them down, giving this quite unique and spectacular landscape. Some thoughtful person has left a couple of wooden benches here for people to sit, have a rest, and to just take in the view. Also here are other outbuildings. Some contain wood, and then just over there behind the trees there's also a dry toilet. So this is typical of the facilities laid on as part of the national park here. I'm very eager to get out of the wind and sit down and have a nice cup of coffee. This is the inside of the Tupa or Akanus wilderness hut. As you see, there's a nice fire stove, and then there are sleeping platforms for, I guess you could get 3 on there and 3 on there. And then here there's a nice wooden table with a guest book and some candles. As you can see, the view from the windows is just spectacular. This mini gorge It's called a kuru in Sami language, and it means like a steep rocky gorge. Also, you can see that most of the stone is loose. This is typical of the fells, and these stones are in constant motion down the slopes, which helps to prevent any vegetation from taking root. I'm very lucky that the conditions for hiking are so good and that the ground is dry. If it was wet, I think it would have been a lot more challenging, certainly a lot more slippery across the broken stony ground parts. Okay, so now we're starting to enter the tree line again, and it starts off with small stunted birch trees and some juniper, and then as we get a bit further down, the pine trees will start. What I thought was trash initially, but it turns out it is the remains of a Junkers 52 German aircraft that crash landed here in 1944. One survived the crash but died of his injuries afterwards, and the only actual survivor was a small puppy that they had on board, and they called him Junkers after the plane.